Hello friends, welcome to week 6's Q&A's, joined by my lovely wife Lucie.
Hi everyone.
Lucie will continue asking me some questions now.
So the next question is by Alta Consulting. He's like, how can bodybuilder on AAS still looking to grow incorporate fasting for health benefits and insulin sensitivity?
Okay, so this is the second question we took from this guy. He must have a bunch of good questions. So, this is a question I often receive on the Instagram and I answer pretty often. But look, this could be a long topic, but I'm not going to talk too much about it. But fasting itself is not too bad for muscular development. In particular, especially extended fasts. Fasts in general raise certain hormones. I've made posts about this on Instagram, like growth hormone, like the sympathetic nervous system, which involves adrenaline, noradrenaline, or epinephrine, norepinephrine, and cortisol. But cortisol is not a good one. But it raises hormones that make the body preferentially burn fat. In a fast, usually you're in ketosis after a few hours, and your body is trying to burn fat, and also it realizes pretty soon, within like 2 or 3 days, that it is in a starvation mode. So the body would rather burn fat than muscle. Now when it does need muscle, what it tries to do is not burn skeletal muscle. It tries to burn not muscle but protein. It needs protein, not muscle, and it will try to burn fat, like skin, cartilage, skin, things like that are less necessary for the body. Now, this is especially true if you're lifting weights or being physically active during the fast, because if you do so, what will happen is you're sending signals to your body that are telling it that you need that skeletal muscle. So if you have excess skin, like many bodybuilders do because they never go on long fasts, so they have excess skin, your body will use that skin for the protein that it needs. So what I'm trying to say is fasting is not so catabolic as many bodybuilders think. Catabolic means it causes muscle loss. Now, if you're eating a low protein diet consistently, which could mean you're starving, or it could mean, various things, you're gonna lose muscle. But if you do it intermittently, which means you fast for 5 days every quarter, which is what my bodybuilding clients do. They fast for 5 days every quarter, right? Or a week. But really, most of them is 5. 5 days is the period that's most studied for humans. It seems to activate all the pathways we need, okay? And it's not so long that people get bored and tired and stuff like that. 4 to 5 days. Really, I go with 5 days. So the bodybuilders I'll tell you what my clients do. That's what I should do, right? Is every quarter, 5 to 7 days fast. This is for longevity reasons, and as well as for insulin resistance, as well as for visceral fat, as well as for replenishing the organs, letting the organs get smaller. They get significantly smaller during the 5 days, and then they regrow when you feed them a lot of protein afterwards to raise mTOR and IGF-1. We have a process that we use for health of bodybuilders, but I'll just tell you the outline. I'm not going to go into all the details because it'll take a long time. On the weeks, depending on how the person's body is, the bodybuilder, if he has insulin resistance, I do a more detailed program. If he has metabolic syndrome. But if he doesn't, we do 1 day a week, 24-hour fast. That's simple. That day of the week, you go through a fast that's long enough to get your mTOR down, your IGF-1 down, your AMP kinase up, your sirtuins up, and you do that on a weekly basis. It gives your whole body a break and turns on some of these factors slightly. It won't affect your muscle gains whatsoever. In fact, because of the effect of it preventing or going against metabolic syndrome and insulin resistance, you probably will have better performance following this plan than otherwise.
Well, we can see with what happened when I fast. When I fast, I go for 5 days. We lift weight together, right? We go for 5 days. I get weaker on weightlifting, and then we go back to the gym. 3 days later, I can lift 20 pounds more than I was without difficulties, and every time it's the same thing. So I don't feel like I'm losing muscle. I feel like actually my muscles are growing but in a more healthy way.
That's true, but what she's saying is true. She does get stronger after fast, and it's an interesting phenomenon. But we're talking about bodybuilders. They're very scared of losing muscle. They weigh they weigh like 250 pounds or something like that, where they're near their absolute genetic limit. No matter what they do, they've taken everything and they don't want to lose any muscle. But what I'm trying to say is, even these people, they won't. It's not just because they'll see this and they say, well, she's a girl, she's probably doesn't work out often, you know, stuff like that. But even you guys, you'll be surprised. You're not going to lose muscle. But what you are going to do is become less insulin resistant, have smaller organs, have less fat in your organs, on your organs, in between your organs, and you're going to have a longer life. So I would strongly recommend 1 day a week, 5 days a quarter, quarters every 3 months, and you'll be better off. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next time.